Hello, and today I wanted to talk about how to move from FOMO to JOMO. FOMO being the fear of missing out, and JOMO, the concept of the joy of missing out. Let me show you why this is so important. We were talking about it in the Happiness Club this week, and a topic that really resonated with so many members, and something that I'm very familiar with myself. Long ago, before I had a child and a partner, and I moved here to Germany, I had a very active social life, and I was always super busy. I would say yes to every invitation that I got. I even had a friend who would say, "You'd say yes to the opening of an envelope." I would just go to everything. I was always busy. I would be out at the cinema, going for dinner, having drinks, going to music concerts, going to the theatre. I would do spa days and holidays and weekend breaks. I was always super busy. Um, and I was doing stuff that I loved, and I was spending time with people that I really liked. But I know that there was certainly this fear of missing out. And there was also this huge gap in myself, in my self-esteem then, where it was really hard for me to be still and to stop and to be by myself and be okay with that. And when I was alone and I was by myself, that fear of missing out or fear that in comparison to other people was really, really strong. Now I'm really fortunate that I didn't join Facebook until 2014, and by then I'd done so much work on myself that a lot of that insecurity and that low self-esteem and that lack of confidence that had really changed in me. And so by the time I was on social media, of course there's still some comparison. People only post all the happy and positive parts of their lives on there, but I could handle it a lot better, and I definitely wasn't comparing myself to other people. And I actually got to a point where I was single, and a lot of my friends were in couples, so I would be really busy during the week, and then at the weekends I didn't have so many plans. But I actually got to a place where I really embraced JOMO, the joy of missing out, where I often wouldn't have anything on at the weekends. And when people would say at work on a Friday, "What are you doing this weekend?" I would say, "Nothing." But I didn't say it that way. I really embraced it. I'd be like, "Absolutely nothing." And it felt amazing. I was so looking forward to going home, relaxing with my cat, watching TV, reading books, just chilling out, just being on my own, just really disconnecting and really enjoying that solitude, that alone time, that me time. So yeah, let's just talk about those concepts. FOMO. Well, let me tell you about the Oxford Dictionary. It put it in there in 2013 and defined it as anxiety that an exciting or interesting event may currently be happening elsewhere, often aroused by posts seen on social media. Do you relate to this at all? Do you find yourself on social media a lot, comparing yourself with other people? Do other people's lives look more interesting, more exciting? Do other people look like they've got their stuff together, or like they're just having more fun? The term was coined by Patrick McGinnis. He was a venture capitalist and an author, and he wrote this while he was at Harvard Business School. And so it's often that feeling that we're missing out an opportunity or an experience or something that other people are enjoying. I've kind of touched on the reasons for that as I talked about myself, but let's just clarify some of the main reasons that people experience FOMO. Social media is a huge part of that. It really creates this culture where we're constantly on our phones, we're constantly scrolling, we're comparing ourselves to other people. And now, not just like people we know or friends or acquaintances, but like we can be connected to people we don't even know. Like there's so many people that we're Facebook friends with and we see their lives happening, but also we can see what's happening with like celebrities as well. And so like not only are like, friends may have a certain life, but then there's a sort of celebrity lifestyle that's well, very different and just nothing like our everyday regular lives. So we're constantly bombarded with this comparison with other people and this excitement that other people have. I think there's also this feeling of like, and I experienced that too, of like the difference between loneliness and solitude. Like I moved to a place where I could really enjoy that solitude, really embrace that time. And gosh, it's even more precious now as a mom, like just to have that time on my own. But there was a time when I had lower self-esteem that I felt lonely. You can be surrounded by people, you can be doing loads of stuff and still feel lonely. So it's really examining that sense of like, do you feel lonely? And when we do have that low self-esteem, we feel anxious or worried, when we place our happiness externally, then that really affects our happiness and really affects our life satisfaction and really enhances this fear of missing out. There was a survey conducted in the US and UK that found that the majority of young people, like 18 to 34, want to say yes to everything because of their fear of missing out. And many feel that they don't invest energy or time exploring new opportunities or new interests because of that. Isn't that incredible? Like, so many young people are so on their phone so much that they're not living their potential. They're not pursuing new things. They're so busy doing all this other stuff, whether they like it or not, that they're not pursuing the stuff that brings them joy. They're not reaching their potential. And I believe that happens to all of us, that when we're caught up doing things that we feel we should do, that we're not actually doing things we really want to do, or the things that really inspire us or take us towards our goals, or really in alignment with who we are. Does that resonate with you? So good news is that there's an antidote to FOMO, and that is called JOMO, the joy of missing out. And this was a term created by Anil Dash in 2012. And now the Urban Dictionary has it in it. Let me just read you the Urban Dictionary definition. Joy of missing out. Enjoying what you're doing in the here and now, and not on social media broadcasting or seeing what everyone else is doing, the opposite of FOMO, or the fear of missing out. Doesn't that sound great? So, how can we embrace JOMO in our lives? How can we move from FOMO to JOMO? Well, here's 6 tips from me that I think really help. And we talked about these in the Happiness Club, and it really resonated. First of all, the really obvious one, disconnect from tech. Now, I'm not saying like, don't be on social media, don't be on your phone, don't be on your laptop. Hey, of course, here we are now, here looking at it. Social media is amazing if you are the master, not the slave. So some time on social media is good, but not too much. Do you find yourself like scrolling mindlessly or constantly refreshing? And actually, if you tracked your time, would you actually be on social media like so much? So limiting your social media contact, having times where you completely disconnect. Maybe there's a cutoff point in the evening, or maybe there's days where you don't go on at all. It can feel quite scary, that, but could you look at how you can reduce your tech time? 2, like reflect on how you are spending your time. What are you doing? Are you doing activities because you don't want to say no to stuff? You feel like if you don't, people won't ask you again, you'll miss out on something. What are you doing with your time? Take time to sit and reflect and write down, how are you spending your time? And then take time to think intentionally what you want to do with your time. What are your goals? What is your lifestyle? What's important to you? For me, I really need some time where I really disconnect from everything and everybody, and that I prioritize me and I do things that I love. Like I love to like stay at home and just read a book for a while, or to sleep, you know, maybe not go out every night, but actually prioritize sleep sometimes, you know, like sometimes it's choosing the things that you love to do, or it's choosing things that are good for you or what you need. You know, I love concerts, as you know this, you know, I love my rock music, I love my concerts. So I prioritize my precious time and money to go there over doing other things. So really think about what brings you joy, what you like to do, and what you need in your life. So becoming more intentional is the key. And as we disconnect from tech, I would really urge you to reconnect with people. We've talked time and time again in the Happiness Club about how connection is so important for our happiness. We are built for connection, we're built for relationships. So how can you reconnect with the right people that make you feel amazing? Those cheerleaders in your life, those people that you come away and you go, oh, that was a great night. Oh, I feel amazing. I'm just buzzing. You know, these are my greatest supporters in my life. That person makes me laugh so much. That person really gets me. Look at the people in your life that you really want to spend the time with and focus on them and really build those relationships. Invest in those relationships. JOMO is also about being more present, being more mindful, but being much more in the here and now. So how can you consciously be more present? How can you work on yourself and in your life so you can be more still and more present? Not going over things in the past, not worrying that you're missing out if you don't go to something, being more present. Now, if you need help with that, I run 2 incredible courses, really effective courses, 21-day self-compassion course and the 6-week mindfulness-based stress reduction course. Those 2 will really help you become more mindful in your day. So go on the website, look for those courses. They run constantly. Would love to bring you in and help you become more mindful. And then the last tip I have for you, which is really obvious, is practice saying no. It's really hard for most of us to say no to things, particularly if you have a fear of missing out. But learn to say no. Learn to decide what you want to do, when you want to do it, and who with. And if it's not for you or not the right time, it's okay to say no. Guilt-free, worry-free, without any fear, learn to say no. And if we embrace more JOMO in our life, you're going to find that you get more balance, you get much joy, and of course, much more happiness. So I really hope you find those tips useful, and I really hope that you can embrace more joy of missing out in your life. It's a really fantastic concept. So simple, yet really brings us much more happiness. I look forward to seeing you again. Thanks for watching. Bye.